Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys all had a happy Thanksgiving. I know I did. We're going to get back on the Saturn flip car. This is our '08 Saturn Aurora for anybody that's missed it. Let's catch you guys up. We got this down at the public auction for $1,100, and unfortunately she had some issues when she showed up here. Showed up with a rod knock, but if you guys saw the last video on this one, we took care of that. She's not knocking anymore. So we're going to continue on with the transmission issue. For those of you that don't know, she doesn't have reverse. So we're going to get in there and see if we can't figure it out. We're hoping it's going to be a shift solenoid or something simple like that, but we won't know till we're in there. I've already removed the battery. We're going to have to take a lot of this out. The battery tray, the fuse, the fuse box, things like that. We're going to have to pull this out of here, get this stuff unhooked and out of the way, because what we are after is actually down underneath all of this. So I'm going to do that now. Oh, and hey, good news. We've got somebody on the way here in a few hours to look at that G6, man. You guys remember that is our $900 flip car. We picked that car up off of Facebook Marketplace, $900. I don't think we have more than 500 or 600 into it. I've got it posted for $29.95. And hopefully we'll be able to get rid of that. They'll be the first person to come look at it. I just posted this thing last night, so that would be friggin' awesome to get rid of it that quick. So you guys cross your fingers. Hopefully we'll get rid of that today as well. Also, we'll be going through fan mail. You guys, these things stack up. All these packages, they stack up so quick over the week, and I can't help but share them with y'all. We got some really cool fans out there sending us some very useful stuff, so we'll go through that in the video as well. Out by the campfire as usual. The weather around here has been amazing, and we're going to do that out by the campfire. But for now, let's get to work. Let's get this stuff out of here. There, it's pretty loose now. We got to get this box unattached from it. It's just held on with these little clips here, and then we'll have to get this guy out here. This is the TCM here. That's the actual transmission control module, and it just kind of clips to this box here, and we'll get that out of the way. There we go. See if we can't get this unattached on here and get kind of pushed over out of the way. Alrighty, you see here what I've had to do. Once we get a little wiggle room, I went ahead and undid this pipe here because it kind of crossed over and kind of got in the way. You see here where this kind of sticks out underneath it. So it's going to give me a little more room. Got this kind of lifted up out of there, and I got my 3 plugs off. You can see them there, and not to worry, those will only go in one place, so you ain't got to label them or worry about them going back in the wrong spot or anything like that. So now that we've got everything hooked off of it, I do believe we can kind of, this box will stay behind, and we got to kind of take that out from under it. So good times. I try to be as careful as I can, because these wires, harnesses, I know we've talked about this before, they could be kind of a pain. They could be a little finicky and brittle, and the pins can come out and the wires can break, and on and on and on. So you want to be kind of careful. You see here, we're being real gentle, and look, we got it out of there. You can see here just how big that thing really is. And you can see here just how much room that opened up. And like I said, the fuse block, this here, that will stay behind, and then this here actually helped more than you think. Having that out of the way, one simple little hose clamp made a big difference. So anyway, now that that's all out of the way, we could kind of get down in here a little bit more. We might get in and kind of move some of these wires over to the side with some bungee cords or something like that. Now the thing is I went down to the O'Reilly's and tried to order a shift solenoid for this. And they kept telling me that this is the 4T40E transmission, which is what was in the G6 and that Cobalt that we did before. If you guys missed those videos, go check them out. We had a bit of a transmission issue on the Cobalt, but we did manage to iron it out with some shift solenoids. And so I can tell you from experience, this is not that transmission. This is totally different. Not even remotely the same style at all. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Aurora XR, which is what this is, came with a 6-speed transmission, whereas the Cobalt and that G6 had the 4-speed transmission. So this is not the same, guys. I hate to break it to you. But hey, I didn't feel like arguing with the old boy. What I figured I would do is I would pop this cover off and get those shift solenoids out of there, take them to the store with me and be like, look, man, this is what I need. Give me one of these, what have you. I've done a little bit of research on this one. Apparently you don't have to drop the engine cradle and all of that kind of stuff like we had to do on that Cobalt. So I'm anticipating this one isn't going to be quite as much trouble. Fingers crossed. This is the cover here that we have to pull off. You see this black cover? That's the only cover I actually see that needs to come off of this, and I do believe that is where everything is going to be located, is right underneath that. The transmission on that Cobalt, we had to pull the entire side cover off of the transmission, which required pulling the CV axle, everything out, and pulling that whole side of the transmission off, dropping the subframe, everything. You guys know, most of you were there. And I believe this one actually has a dipstick in it, which is strange compared to what, yeah, see, this actually comes with a dipstick, unlike that other transmission. Let's see about draining this whole fluid out of here. Now, when we pulled that CV axle out, when we were messing with the engine, getting the oil pan off, the fluid that came out of this looked to be in really great shape. I'll show you guys here in case you missed it. But it is does have a nice red tint to it. It's not overly dirty by any means. So I'm hoping that this transmission was actually, you know, half-ass maintained at least. You might notice that I've got a jack supporting the transmission. That's because I'm going to go ahead and pull this mount off, get it out of the way. I do believe you could probably take this off without it, but I was noticing right up in between the mount and the cover is really narrow. It's like that much space to get up inside of there, and I think up at the top is going to be a little difficult. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out. It's 5 bolts. This mount will come out super easy. But like I mentioned, you're most definitely going to want to support the transmission with something. I'm going to use a floor jack on this one. All right, having the main bolt out of the way, all we got to do is get these other 4 bolts. There'll be 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and then we'll have the mount out of the way. As for these top 2 bolts, if you'll get this guy out of the way, make it a little bit easier for you. Now I can get right here. I mean, you can see there's a bolt like right there and another one right here. We ought to be able to get to those real simple. Add a little extension on the end. We'll be good to go. I could get this up through the top. Let's see. Just like on that G6, you're going to want to watch out for your wiring harness. If you guys missed it, we actually replaced the same transmission mount on that G6. And we had to bring it up through the top just like this. And all the harnesses are kind of in the way. So you want to be careful. Not get too rough with it because we don't want to break all those little wires and pull pins out of the harness and the plugs and all of that. Well, after a little bit of cussing, trying to hold my mouth just right, I was actually, look at this. This one's going to come out through the bottom. I didn't see any way to get it out through the top like that other one. Mostly because your fan is kind of right there rubbing in the way. And then once you get it up high enough, you end up with the exhaust manifold in the way. So what I ended up doing is jacking up the transmission as high as it would go, and that somehow freed up just enough space to wiggle that thing on out of there. The cool part is having that out of there. Look how much room we have to get that cover out. Those are the bolts right there that I was talking about that were kind of wedged in between. I think we probably could have gotten them out if we used an extension and maybe a swivel, I don't know, something. But that old transmission mount wasn't too hard to get out. It only took a few minutes, and now we freed up tons of space to get that cover out of there, so I'm happy. All right, let's get to pulling this cover off. Like I mentioned before, we're gonna need to undo this plug off of it first. It'll be located underneath these plugs. Don't let these plugs intimidate you, by the way, because like I said before, they only go in one place, so there's no way to mix these up. This one here is going to be a little bit of a pain to get to. Get all this out of the way. Wedge my fingers underneath there and push the little magic button that allows this to come loose. This is going to take both hands, y'all. I'm going to have to sit y'all down. So after finally getting smart, moving all my plugs out of the way, and even bungee corded the main wiring harness over out of the way, finally got down to the plug. You can see it right here. See it right here. Just wiggle that off of there. The way these are set up is they've got a little button you got to push right there, and then what happens is it allows this lever to push forward, which pushes the plug off. You see what I'm saying? So not real tricky, but if you don't know that, it'll become very tricky. So anyway, you'll need to know that. You see how I just kind of pushed it with my thumb, and then that allows that to slide forward. Without that, this plug will not come off. In fact, none of these will. All of these are that way. They got the little button you got to push with the little lever that you slide forward, and that's what allows that to actually come loose. So you got to know that kind of stuff, or you will have a lot of problems with this. Now that that's off, we can get that pan unbolted. I don't think there's anything else plugged to it, so here we go. These are all going to be 10mm bolts, by the way. Just about to get all these loose. It's worth mentioning you might want to throw your drain pan back underneath it, because once we pop this loose, some fluid may try to drip out of there. All right, so we're down to the last bolt. So after kind of screwing around in here a little bit, we were able to finally get this thing to come down out of here, it looks like. I might have to finish it from the bottom down there, but it is going down in there like I need it to. It's getting caught up on everything on the way down, but that's all right, as long as we get it to come off. I think I'm going to get the dipstick out of the way. I'm tired of this thing getting in my way. It keeps getting caught up on everything. All right, there, we got it out finally. That's what we were after. So I know it's a little bit hard to see down in here, but right in here, this thing here, that's what has our shift solenoids. So I got to pull this out. There's some bolts holding it on. We've got a few plugs here. I think 1, 2, maybe 3 plugs that might need to come undone, something like that. And we should be able to pull this guy out of here. Well, good news. We've made it down to the very last bolt. This should come off of here now. If you're not aware of what we're doing, we're trying to pull this entire plate off of here. You see there? We've got her loose now. And it's worth mentioning, all these bolts are different sizes, so you better pay attention to what hole they come out of. I'm trying to keep them in their respective holes here, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to get it out like that. We'll find out here in just a second, but here she comes. Oh, there we got it. So this is what we just took off right here. It's got this little cover. It covers these little prongs here. I have no idea, you guys. I'm not a transmission guy. I think I've probably mentioned that a million times. So this here would be like the valve body. It's what that other stuff that we just pulled out is mounted on top of. I don't think we need to get inside of here. I don't think that's where our issue would be. I think the issue will actually be on the part we just took apart. That's what we're hoping anyway. We're hoping that's what's wrong with this thing, and it's just got some bad solenoids. We don't know for sure. If that's not the case, then it'll be like wave plates or something like that. And in order to get to those, we'll have to actually get into the side of the transmission. This side cover here will have to come off, and obviously it's right next to the frame rail, so we would have to drop the subframe to get in there and probably pull the CV axle out. I'm not 100% sure yet. And get the cover off, and inside of there will be a drum, and the wave plates are they ride on that drum and they snap, they break. It's a common failing point for these transmissions, aside from what we got going on here. So what I figured is we would tackle this first. If that doesn't fix it, we will go in for the wave plates. I don't know what you're thinking, like, dude, well, what kind of codes is it throwing up? There should be some codes that would probably tell you, kind of steer you in the right direction. It's not throwing up any transmission codes. The only code it was throwing up was that misfire code, which actually went away because we put a good charged battery in it, and it actually runs fine now, no misfires. But as for transmission, there was nothing for the transmission, so I don't know. Kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. Luckily, so far, this isn't too difficult. That was actually rather easy to get that off of there. To dig down where we're at right now hasn't been too much work at all, or time. And no special tools required so far, so I don't know. This is the first time I've ever done this, y'all, so this is a learning experience. The car's bought and paid for. It's not costing me anything sitting here. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of learn some things. I mean, in this business, you're going to run across this kind of stuff all the time. And wouldn't it be kind of nice to know how to fix it? That way we don't have to just pass it on to the next guy. We can actually get in there, fix it, and make some money on the deal, right? Because that is what it's all about, trying to make a few bucks. And if all we got to do is spend a few hours and, 50, 60, 80 bucks, what have you, to get the car going again, I mean, why not? Some of you guys write these off as being throwaway cars, and a lot of it's just not knowing exactly how to go about fixing some of this stuff and just assuming that it's going to be super difficult, take lots of time, expensive, all of that. And I get it. I know, man. Not everybody wants to get out here and mess with this kind of stuff. But I, on the other hand, have nothing better to do, so why not? And besides, look how much we learned messing with that cobalt. I mean, most of the time in that situation, trying to flip these cars, you would just cut your losses and send it and move on, get on to the next one, right? And it turned out to be a fairly simple fix, time consuming, but easy. I mean, it wasn't like back breaking where we weren't out digging ditches in the 110-degree heat. You know what I'm saying? This stuff isn't that hard when you compare it to some of the things that people have to do for a living, right? And I actually consider myself to be very fortunate, blessed, if you will, for being in a position where I could just kind of hang out in the shop, wrench on these things, and earn a living. All right, so we're going to head down to the O'Reilly's, and I want to show this to the old boy and be like, look, man, I tried to tell you this was not a 4T40E transmission. This is, I think it's called a 6T70, something like that. Anyway, totally different. The guy kept arguing. He's like, no, this is all they have, blah, 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 and saying that it was that 4T, and it's not. And so anyway, I just like, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll prove it to you. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show him. Be like, I tried to tell you. Now, apparently, the 4-cylinder models on these did come with that 4T 4540E transmission, and this one did not, however. Not sure why it wasn't coming up on his little computer there, but anyway, I'm going to take this up there. I'm sure it's got some part numbers on it that we can look up, and if all else fails, I'll just order one from Rock Auto or something like that. It looks expensive. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't think salvage yard is going to be an option on this one. We'll just mess around and end up with one that's bad as well, because like I said, this is a common issue. So what would be the odds of actually getting out to a salvage yard and getting a good one? I'm just not even going to go there. So we'll price it down at the O'Reilly's. It'll probably be way too expensive, and we'll probably end up having to go Rock Auto anyway. But at least having this part here in our hand, the old boy ain't going to be able to argue with us this time. I should probably just stop messing around with him and go to Napa or something. Them Napa boys, man, they'll actually break out the catalogs and start digging. They don't mess around. Remember the catalogs? Good old days. Alrighty, everybody, there she goes. She's gone on to her new home. Well, hot damn, y'all, we did it again, man. We done sold it. She got out of here. That was a quick sell, too. She didn't last long. I just posted it last night. So I posted it for $29.95, and guess what? I sold it for $29.95. I did not budge on the price. We sold it to the first person that came out here, man. We didn't have to sit around and deal with test drive after test drive and showing it over and over again, tire kickers, all that mess. We did not have to deal with that. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. She's out of here. We got our money and we're back at it, man. We're gonna get out there and find us another one, you bet. So let's go over some numbers, man. Let's see. We got 900. That's what we bought it for, off of an individual on Facebook Marketplace. $900. What all do we do to it? Did a little paint and body work. We replaced that rear door. We painted the whole entire driver's side. Hood and front bumper both were replaced. All salvage parts. Suspension wise, we replaced outer tie rod ends. Sway bar end links. Let's see, a brake rotor on the driver's side front, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was about it on mechanicals. So you guys, we got like $500 into this thing, man. What is that for? That puts us at like $1,400 is what we got into it, and we just sold it for $3,000, man. And the best part is, I think I just helped somebody out, for real. I just get that feeling, you know, that these people, they needed this car. They really did. And I don't feel bad letting it go a little bit cheaper. I just don't, not in those situations. And you know what? I kind of found myself in a unique position with this whole YouTube thing, with you guys following along on these builds. I did good on that car, y'all. That's just, you know, we did good on the profits. We did good on the YouTube revenue. I'm not a greedy guy. I'm not trying to get rich off one car. So, you know, when there's no reason not to sell it at an affordable price and not jump on the freaking price gouge bandwagon that everybody else is on. I'm not doing it if I can. If I can help it, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, man, we might could have held on to it. Probably got maybe 4,000, 4,500. There's no telling. Today's market with everything going on with COVID. You guys know used car prices are through the roof right now, and we probably could have gotten more for it. No doubt about it. I'm not going to argue with you on that for sure. But let's keep in mind, we got that car super cheap, $900. We only had $500 into it, $1,400 altogether. We were in a position to sell it at an affordable price, especially by today's standard, help someone out, and at the end of the day, I still made good profits that made it all worthwhile. And you guys helped out on that whole flip. You guys were awesome. We had people donating supplies, donating gift cards for Amazon, Rock Auto. I mean, when I say we put 500 into it, technically we really didn't. Some of that was you guys's. So I'm gonna pay it forward. Simple as that. So anyway, she's out of here, man. We did really good on that one. Let's do the math. What is that, like $1,600 profit? We won't even go into the YouTube revenue. So hey man, y'all know what this means. It is on to the next one. Let's get out there and let's find something. Well, hot damn, I thought I heard somebody pull up. We got done just in time, because when this one shows up, that means we're dragging everything out to drag this one in. She's gonna take over the shop for the rest of the day, I guarantee it. Have kids, they say. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah, it was fun making them. Nobody told me that when they get older, I was gonna have to help them restore all their pickup trucks and whatever else they drag home. This has actually been a really fun father-daughter project for me and my daughter, all jokes aside. If you guys haven't tuned in, you're missing it. Not a lot of the father-daughter projects going on the old YouTubes, but this one here has been a lot of fun, and we're nowhere near done with it yet, I'll tell you that much. Anybody following along on this project knows that we've been trying to put a header on this thing, a nice ceramic coated header. It looks really nice on there. Unfortunately, they don't actually make a header for an automatic Nissan hardbody. And we've been fighting trying to get it to fit, just to find out, hey, it's never going to fit. But we did figure something out, a way around that, and that is by taking some bucket seats out of a Nissan Pathfinder that we got out of the salvage yard. And also we took the floor shifter as well. Now what this is going to do is relocate all of her shifting linkage for that automatic transmission, which is what's been holding us up from getting that header in there all along. And that's going to cure our issue. So we're going to have a ceramic coated header on this automatic truck, even though it ain't supposed to be like that. And at the same time, she gets to have a floor shifter, which is cool. Bucket seats, awesome. So be sure to head on over to her channel, me, myself, and Darlene. I'll leave a little card up top or something like that. Link in the description you guys go check out that project over there, and hit the subscribe button while you're in there, the notification bell, all that good stuff, so that you will know right when we do, you know, work to this old truck. I mean, like I said, it is never ending. There's always something going on. This is our daily driver, by the way, so every once in a while something goes wrong with it and we got to figure out what it is, and it's always a good time, let me tell you. But hey, I think we got just enough time to open up a little fan mail before it gets dark, so let's head on out to the fire pit. Check this out. This is this week's haul. These things pile up fast. I can't believe this is how much comes in just a week's time. It's unreal. Figured we'd just go ahead and start with this one. Why not? It's at the top of the stack. Let's see what we got here. Oh, check it out. Ceramic 3-in-1 wax. All right. This looks like the good stuff, y'all. Here's the card that came out of it. Check it out. Much appreciated. The return name on the package is Amy Long. So hey, I appreciate you sending me that. This looks like good stuff. Let's go right on down the stack here. Check it out. Got these all cut open already. Gonna speed things up. Oh, check it out. Look at this. I know exactly what those are. These are magnetic, so you can set them down on things and you just toss nuts and bolts and washers and things like that into it when you're working on stuff. That comes in super handy. I tend to grab the wife's Tupperware stuff out of the house. She loves it when I do that. Let's see, let's see. Hey, fellow Okie. All right, cool. This is Bill Speck. This is a huge supporter of our channels. Dude, he has been sending us so much stuff. I've lost track of how much stuff he's sent us. It's so much. So thanks again, Bill Speck, man. Really awesome. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, cool. Look at here, man. You can use this to clean out our paint gun with. It's got all the little attachments. That comes in super handy. And look at all these little buffer pads. These will fit on my air little mini buffer that I use all the time. I mean, this right here, this will come in super handy. Let's see who sent us this one. Got a little note here. Love your content. Glad to be able to support you, from David Willis. David, another longtime supporter. I recognize that name. David has given us several things over the past few months, and it is very much appreciated. We will use all of this stuff, no doubt about it. You guys just continue to make my job easier and way faster. I mean, I could get through these details so quickly with all this stuff you guys keep sending me. We'll just keep working our way down the stack. Let's see, what do we got on this one here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, somebody sent me some candy, and I think I've already went through half of it. Don't judge me, you guys. I mean, y'all sending me cool stuff like jams and Twizzlers and you name it, and y'all expect me to hold on to this stuff? So yeah, it's a little embarrassing because that was completely full, but like I said, I don't care, man. They sent it here for me to eat it. I'm gonna eat it. I'll admit I probably ate a little too fast, but that's all right. So this thing here has like 9 different candy bars in it. I've tried every single one of them a few times. Let's see. Hi, Mike. Greetings from England. That's awesome. So it says here, hopefully the engine support will make it a lot safer next time. Yeah, this guy sent me an engine support. I'm going to show you guys right now. If you guys remember on the last Saturn video, we used a bar and a chain to hold the engine up while we took the engine mount out so that we could pull that oil pan off. Well, this right here, this guy actually sent me the tool for the job. This is fully adjustable. I mean, this thing weighs a good like 50 pounds. Fully adjustable. It's got the hooks, the chains, everything you need. No more using the old bar and chain, which coincidentally broke on us right in the middle of it. Yeah, the damn chain broke. We're lucky the engine didn't fall down on us. But hey, thanks to David Brighter, we don't have to do that anymore. We got the right tool for the job, man. We're gonna be all professional looking next time we get out there and do that, right? Hot damn, what do we got here? We're about halfway through the stack now. Look at this. Look at this. Let's get my little note out here. All right. First of all, we've got a charger. We can plug multiple things in. That'll come in handy when I'm trying to charge phones and batteries for GoPros and everything all at the same time. But look at this, man. This has been very much needed. We have terrible lighting out in the shop. It's fine for working, you know, for your own stuff, but when you're trying to shoot videos, it's not the greatest. And look at there, now we got some more lights. That's going to come in really handy. 2,000 lumens, 3 levels of white light. Awesome, heavy duty. That's what we need. It says 12 hours of runtime. Check that out, man. see who we got here. Just a note of appreciation and an early Christmas. And yeah, you guys, y'all have made it. This past few months has felt like just an extended long Christmas time, I tell you what. He went on to say, I thought they might make things a little easier in allowing us to view what you are doing. They dang sure will. They're magnetic, so that'll make it a lot easier to use. Mark's story, and another fellow Okie. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. I am feeling the love from my fellow Okies. This is really cool. I wanted you guys to see this cool little gift here. This thing is awesome. I already opened it, and the reason being is the guy that sent it to me, he gave me a spoiler alert. He sent me a text, told me to be on the lookout for this one. This thing is awesome. It's very fancy. Look at that. Now, I've used these over the years, but I've never had a set, especially something like this where it's in the case and all of that. So this is really cool, man. These are very, very useful. These are step bits for anybody that don't know. They just go from little to big, and this is various sizes of them. I mean, look at this guy. So we're going to be good to go on drill bits, that's for sure. And these will definitely get a lot of use, but I just like how that in that little fancy case. And you guys got me feeling all bougie. I'm telling you, I don't buy this stuff for myself, man. I go to Harbor Freight and I just buy me a bit, and I use it as needed until it either breaks or dulls out to the point I can't use it no more, and I'll go back and get me another one. I never buy this cool stuff like this. So you guys, man, y'all are awesome. This came from Eugene in New York. Thank you, Eugene. Very much appreciated. Eugene's another one that has been sending us lots of stuff, multiple gifts over the past few months. So thanks again, Eugene. Speaking of which, here we go. This is another one from Eugene. I've been needing some of this. I've got some, but the main size that I use the most, I'm completely out of. So this showed up just in time. I'm sure most of you guys know what heat shrink is, but those of you that don't, this goes over your wires. You heat it up with a heat gun, and it shrinks down over the wires, creating like a watertight seal. And it's much better than just using, you know, ordinary electrical tape and stuff like that. This is a little more professional. Let's get another one open here. Looks like we got a light that you wear around your head. This will help a lot. Man, when I was working on that G6 trying to get up underneath the dash to replace that brake light switch, this guy right here would have been a lifesaver in that situation. I'll tell you what. Let's see, what do we got here? Merry Christmas. I've watched all your videos, and I hope this will brighten up those dark engine compartments. It sure will. Thanks for what you do. Mel Lindstrom, East Peoria, Illinois. Man, I hope I said all that right. Dude, Mel, yes, this will be very useful, no doubt about it. God, I feel like I've been opening these packages for a few minutes now. We're not even halfway through. That's a good problem to have right there. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, cool, we got a note. Awesome. All right, here we go with Bill Speck again, fellow Okie again. He sent us these. Let's see, this is like a 4-inch vise mount. It's like a press brake type of a deal. This goes on your vise. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those are little magnets, so it'll just click right onto your vise. And then here's the other part right here. Look at that. So when this is on your vise, imagine your vise trying to stick together because of the magnet. Imagine your vise clamping together, right? And then it's got these guys right here, kind of like this. And then when you squeeze your vise together, look at that, it's got the magnet going. But you get the point, man. That would bend your metal really good. If you guys caught the last Datsun video, you know you'd see I'd clamp it to the truck frame and bend it over the truck frame. Well, this right here would be perfect for making little brackets and stuff like that. And we won't have to do it like that anymore. We'll do it right there in the old vise with this little guy. This is pretty cool. So that was a very thoughtful gift that will get a lot of use. That shows old Bill's watching the videos. He saw me bend that metal over that frame, I guarantee, and he was like, hey, I know just the thing. So thanks, Bill. Let's open up one of the packages here. Look at this. Somebody sent me an entire sleeve of masking tape. Look, a whole sleeve of it, y'all. Now, I don't know if you guys have bought any masking tape lately. That stuff is not cheap, and they just sent me a whole sleeve of it, so that is awesome. Check it out, David Willis again. I told y'all, man, he's been sending multiple gifts. That tape's going to get used quick, I have a feeling. I go through tape like I don't know what around here. So, hey, much appreciated, David Willis. Let's see what we got going on here. find the note. As soon as I see a note, I like to grab it. Let's see. Here we go again. Here we go again. Old Bill Speck. Man, how many is that for this round? At least 3 or 4. Good grief. Look, what do we got? Got a razor blade set, and this has got the plastic razor blades. Those are good for like peeling off pinstripe and stuff like that, so you don't scratch the surface. And more of those mini buffer pads. Man, I tell you what, we are set on some mini buffer pads. This is really good for when we're doing those little spot jobs, you know, like when we did the G6, or the gold G6 that we had to replace the door on. We had to kind of get up in the jam, do a little bit of paint work. That mini buffer is worth its weight in gold for stuff like that, so we will definitely be using these little mini pads, no doubt about it. It's really good for those little tight spaces. This kit that he sent me came with something really cool, and that is an eraser wheel. This you could put on your drill, you could put it on a little, you know, muffler cutter, die grinder, what have you. That little eraser right there, that will get after it for taking off pinstripe, adhesives for trim, things like that. We do a lot of that when we're trying to paint these things and get them all dolled up. And those eraser wheels, they get a lot of use around here. So, man, Bill Speck, I'll tell you what, he knows exactly what we need around here. He's on it, man. Let's open up this guy here. A tub of towels. Look at that. Man, this thing is heavy. It's got like 90 wipes. These are like baby wipes for the garage. These come in handy. These will help save my grease rags, so I don't go through so many grease rags. And I know for a fact these work very well for getting your hands clean. So this one came from Eugene from New York. He's already gave us several things on this round. So again, man, we got some guys giving multiple gifts, and you guys are great, man. So hey, Eugene from New York, thank you for these. These are awesome. These are going to come in very handy. Looks like we're down to the last box. Here we go. What do we got? A digital endoscope. Oh man, this thing's gonna be awesome. So we got a little camera now that we could put up inside these engines and things like that when we're trying to figure out what's going on internally, you know. This will be cool. It's got lights on it and everything, so we can be able to see up inside those dark places. Man, I'll tell you what, messing with some of these newer cars, you never know what you're going to get yourself into. So that I could see that coming in handy. It's Bill Speck again, y'all. Hey buddy, sometimes when you're trying to discover what the problem is before digging everything open, go in and take a peek. From Bill Speck. All right, I could definitely see where this would come in handy on some of the stuff we mess with, so thanks, Bill. I told y'all it feels like Christmas came early around here. I've been opening up stuff like that, and I mean, look at that big old pressure washer somebody sent us the other day. I mean, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I get to spend, I've been like 2 months just opening thing after thing. Every day I go up the driveway, there's another gift. It's just unbelievable. All right, I might as well just go ahead and tell you, both of these are from Bill Speck too. Look at this. Another Unibit. So we're stocked up on Unibits. We're good to go for there. He sent us some hooks here. These will come in handy for like when you're taking brake calipers, things like that. Normally I would like string them up with a bungee cord. You guys have seen me do that a million times. Well, I don't have to do that now. We got some hooks to hook them up with, so that is very useful. Hey, here we go. Hey, good buddy. We all have our hang-ups. This guy's a comedian. Get it? Hang-ups, hooks. Let's see you give those bungee cords a break when you hang up a caliper. And yeah, I told you. Old Bill watches the videos, man. He's paying attention. He sees what something comes up. He's like, hey, this guy could benefit from that. I'm gonna send him one, and that's what he's been doing, man. Cool, really cool. Throw a few more of these on here. Not a bad day for November. We're coming into the end of November here, and they're talking like 72 degrees tomorrow. I will take it. Well, you guys, it's starting to get dark, so I better get on out of here. We're starting, once we lose daylight, man, these GoPros go to crap. You won't see nothing. So y'all be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know, what do you think on that OG6, man? Should I try to get a little more out of it? I know some of y'all are like, oh man, you should have charged $4,000 for it, but I don't know, man. I think we did okay on it. I think we did better than okay on it, to be honest with you. Not to mention, I actually enjoyed myself turning that car around. It is kind of fun flipping some of these cars. I know it could be a pain in the ass. I don't want to come on here and tell you guys that this is just the greatest thing ever and there's no downside to it, because that's not truthful. Of course, it can be frustrating, but for the most part, it is actually enjoyable to turn these old dirty, nasty, stinky, smelly, rattle trap cars into a presentable, useful thing that somebody could go on and get some more use out of. And if they take care of it and drive it right, you can't drive them like you stole them. All right, you got to drive it like a car that has 180 something thousand miles on it. And what I mean by that is you just don't do the pedal to the metal and all that crap, man. Just take care of them, do some maintenance on them, and that you'll get several years of use out of that vehicle, I'm sure, and all for $3,000 or less. I mean, you can't beat it. I pride myself on the fact that when these customers come to buy these cars, they tell me this is the cleanest damn car in this price range that they've looked at, and they've been looking all over the city. And I love hearing this. They say this to me all the time. We should have came here first. I live for that. But yeah, it's not all sunshine and roses, but I enjoy flipping these old cars. And I would like to get up into flipping some maybe a little bit nicer cars that aren't quite so involved, but we will always do what we're doing here by taking some of these older cars that have been kind of road hard and neglected, and giving them a new life, and letting somebody come pick one up cheap, reasonably priced, and drive out of here with like they say, this is the cleanest car we've looked at in this price range. I love that. I typically price my cars around $3,000, give or take. And, we're not trying to get rich off of one car. And with you guys following along, it's been quite enjoyable. I really do appreciate all of the well wishes. You guys, if you haven't been in the comment section, go in the comment section. It'll blow your mind. The overwhelmingly positive comments, nothing but positive, I swear. All the thumbs up, my thumbs up to thumb down ratio is like 99.8%. that's unreal, you guys. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I have the best subscribers on YouTube, no doubt about it. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, as long as you guys are into it, I'll keep making the videos. You guys stay tuned for the next flip. I think you're going to be surprised what we're going to do. I think a lot of you guys are going to be into it. It ought to be pretty interesting and a little something different. We do a lot of the the little A to B 4-door transportation, just your basic regular cars, and this will be a little different. But anyway, you guys stay tuned for that. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I do appreciate everybody watching. Hit me up on Instagram. Be a link in the description. Also Facebook, hit me up on Facebook. You guys, if you don't have Instagram or Facebook, get one. Just make up one and friend request me, because if YouTube doesn't send out a notification, I send them out, and then you will always know right when I put a video out, because YouTube's funny like that. Sometimes they don't send out the notifications. Whatever, we don't need them, we'll do it ourselves. So get yourself a Facebook, get yourself an Instagram, one or the other, and hit me up. That way you'll always know when I get a video out. But hey, like I said, it's about to get dark. I got to get out of here. I got to get up to the parts store before they close, come to think of it. And next video, probably messing around with that Saturn again. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. I'll see y'all later.